what companies do you know that offer like student loan for your studies in either in Canada or in the US?
There are so many companies out there, but
Okay.
the prominent one is Empower.
Empower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a US-based company, financier. So.
Okay, that's good. So let's talk about. There are some other ones. So, but for today's video, we'll just be focusing on Empower. So what are the just a high level overview of the processes involved in getting an Empower loan?
To the best of my understanding, I think they have not really a bottleneck application process.
Okay.
Once you can provide the information in it, and you are able to meet up with the requirements, you're good to go.
Okay. So in terms of now, let's talk about at what point do you have to approach them? Is it after you've gotten your admission, before you get admission, or just knowing the universities, that they're affiliated? So how do you go about that?
Well, I think the most important thing to first note is you have to get your admission first.
Okay.
You have to secure an admission because that's the basis for what on which you're seeking for a loan. So after you've been able to secure an admission, you push the admission letter forward to them. Then also you have to do a search maybe prior to your admission.
Okay.
So because the loan company didn't cover. They are not covering all the schools in Canada and US. So there are specific schools that they cover. So you have to do a research in knowing those schools that are there is a platform on it on the website. So just search for the schools that are under the coverage. Then after that you push your application forward. Then you go out with the requirements. There are some things that will be requested from you.
Oh, that's good. So make sure you before you apply for admission, just try to do a search to make sure that the school you're actually applying to is under their radar, under their radar. So make sure you do that step. So in terms of the duration, so how long on the average does it normally take, right from when you approach them, to getting the approval if you have all the required documents?
The first thing to note is about you doing your parallel research, what are the things that you need. So the longer it takes to provide the documents, the longer it takes for approval as well. So so in as much you can get all the documents together, push them once, I think under a month and a half or two maximum.
Okay. So just taking that time to make sure that you get the right documents at the right time is really going to be helpful. So kind of start planning ahead. Don't go and you have deadline to meet with your visa application before you start. Plan ahead so that you can have some of the right documents and all that are required. So if I'm going to apply now, and so do they require want to know whether if I'm working, or how about somebody's working and there's another person that is not working? So how do you think those two scenarios will work?
I think it would be best for you to have a source of income that you can just present that you are also. It's not compulsory anyway. So let's say, for example, you are someone you are just a fresh graduate. So you don't have a work history, So that's not a barrier. That shouldn't be a barrier. I know. So that shouldn't be a barrier. But if you have a work history, so it is also good for you to just present what your probably something like your appointment letter. And a summary of what you have in like a gross payment, like analysis of your salary. You know, can just like put something that, oh, you as well, you have you're somebody that is like not really that you're going to get the money and take off. So you just have to provide some information. Yeah, that is it. So, and some other thing, if you don't have the bulk of money, you can easily use a sponsor.
Okay.
So once you are able to get a sponsor, you get some documents from the sponsor. The documents will be provided for you by Empire.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, by Empire. So once the documents are provided and you're able to meet up with the requirements, you're good to go. Everything is set.
That's interesting. So it's just a lot of work and a lot of research that you have to do in the whole process. So let's talk about, do they actually give you the money? Like, I know it's a loan, so at what point do they actually put the money in your account, or when you get to the university? How is that payment structure like?
No, you don't get paid for the loan. They pay your school directly.
Oh, okay.
So the money will be credited to your school's account. Your tuition will be covered generally. Okay. So it depends on how much your admission letter states that you will be needed, as in you're going to need for your program. So you don't quote anything outside the range of what your tuition will be. So what they provide for is your tuition and probably some non-instructional fee that the school might charge you. So they are not providing anything for your feeding, housing, or anything like that. No.
Okay. So
basically, it's for tuition.
Pay tuition. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I know apart from tuition, there are like health fee and some other few fees that you have to pay. It's not covered.
No,
okay.
It's not covered.
Just tuition, instructional fee.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
I think when people get that covered, that's really a lot of. So you can basically find a way to cover some other things. So the next question I want to ask is, do they have limits to the minimum? If somebody is going for like a 1-year program, let's say like a diploma program, or another person going for 2 years or 3 years, so do they have limits as to the number of years for the
study? Your program should be 2 years, as in the sponsor just 2 years program.
2 years, okay.
2 years program too.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So, you reach out, check their website to make sure that whatever program that they're doing is like a 2 years program, So don't go and apply for a 6 month program.
No, yeah, exactly.
And then and then you're looking for a loan from these companies, right? Because they are very strategic in kind of what they do, So let's quickly talk about payback, And then some people will be thinking, how about if I take the money and I run away?
You can't run away.
Okay. So how do you pay back?
The payback, when your application has been approved, so you'll be given a contract letter. So your mode of payment and how much you're going to be paying monthly and overall payments will be stated clearly in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it is for you to go over it. I think for your 2 years in school, there is a certain amount that you'll be paying, probably a regular amount that you'll be paying, depending on how much you requested for.
Yeah.
So then after your school period, then it will be stated how much you'll be paying as well.
Okay.
So clearly to be stated in your contract, whatever charges you pay, whatever interest you're going to pay, and the total sum you might have paid back after the whole payment.
Okay, that's good. So one of the few last questions I wanted to ask is, in terms of visa application, so when you're filling your visa application, they will say upload proof of funds. So what do you upload in that for visa application?
The company will provide you with a letter that you can add to your application, your visa application form and everything like that. That will cover your school fees, your tuition and everything. but you may do good to yourself by adding something like other source of funding.
Okay.
Something that can aid you, in as much you're paying for your tuition, how do you want to survive?
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
You can just like add, if you have somebody that wants to sponsor you, or you have a personal source of fund, or you can just attach that to it as well, and you're good to go.
Yeah, because I know for Canada, even though you show what they normally require is cost of living plus like additional $10,000. So if whatever loan is covering your tuition, then you have to show, cost of living and whatever expenses.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting. And so if one is traveling with, let's say, family, so now it's just for your tuition. It doesn't concern them. It's just whatever tuition they're providing. You have to do all the other expenses. Yeah. So if you add it, yeah. So if you are adding like family members to your application, your spouse or whatever, so that wouldn't cover it. So you have to, show that you have additional funds to cater for your family while they are there. Okay, that's about it. One other question. What do you think was the most challenging part of the application process?
The most challenging part might be or might not be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You having to provide counterpart funding. The counterpart funding, they are not taking it from you.
Okay.
But just like, you asked us to give you $100,000.
Yeah.
So how much do you have yourself?
Oh, okay.
So that is it.
Oh, that's good. So, so it's not just just go there, they will just give you, right? So there are some other things that are actually some other requirements that are involved that you need to meet. So unfortunately, we won't be able to cover every single detail in this video, but we've given you the platform, which is Empower, and they will be able to cover your tuition, and there are specific universities under their radar.
Exactly.
So my advice will be, please check out their website, and if you don't understand anything, I might not be the best to answer all of your questions. Please, check out their website. There's going to be an email address, I think. Reach out to them if you have any question. They will be the best position to answer any question regarding proof of funds for Canada visa, or also for US, also work for US. So that's about it. Thank you so much for coming, for sharing this video with me. Thank you. So we'll come again next time. So for those that haven't subscribed, please do it to subscribe to this video, and for those that haven't liked, so like this video. It's going to help YouTube are going to recommend this video, and also share with others that need this information as well. So till we come again, thank you for coming. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.